Hello, fellow Wisconsinites. I tell you, today is a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's great to be back out amongst the people to be able to talk about public education because this is what we do. This gathering today, as was stated, many people coming from different backgrounds, and we're here today to continue to advocate for what we know Wisconsin truly stands for. I am Carlton Jenkins, a very proud superintendent of Madison Metropolitan School District. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And today, we're here to represent what we know is the best way forward for not only Madison, the state of Wisconsin, but we need to be thinking about public education throughout the United States. Over the past year and a half, in the midst of this uncertainty of COVID-19, and we were battling a dual pandemic, one of social justice as well. This budget here today reflects why we need to continue to be in this particular fight, not only just about the health of ourselves, but also the social justice issues that's going on, and our budget reflects our values. Wisconsin Constitution, right, came together 1847, only behind New England were there any other constitutions. We ratified it in 1848. And within our Constitution today, we say that you have an inherent right. Okay, an inherent. What does that really mean? We also talk about in terms of education, we're going to provide a uniform system that is practical. That is practical. Nothing's practical about having to continue to perpetuate the haves and the have-nots. Wisconsin is a leading state in many areas. We know that we have one of the finest university systems in the country and in the world. We are leaders in agriculture. We're leaders in business. We're leaders in innovation. We're leaders in healthcare. But yet, Wisconsin has fallen behind and continues to fall behind. We're number 38th right now in the nation when you start looking at how we fund our public school system. That's unacceptable, Wisconsin, and we know that. What Wisconsin has done, we placed the burden on our taxpayers, more so than others. At 54%, that's what we do right now. We look for the state funding, right, and that support. We used to be a leader in terms of supporting our education system. Over the last 10 years, we've continued to decline. We outpaced the nation. Now we're trending below the nation. So what does this mean? This means this. If this current budget goes through as is, we will begin to have to make even tougher decisions in our school systems. Most school systems, 80% of your budget is reflected in your staffing personnel. But yes, that's important, but so are the other operational things, like having safe schools for our students. This is what we talk about, providing all of the learning opportunities for our students that we need and supposed to. When we think about the historical wrongs in not only Wisconsin, but throughout our nation, for our Black, our Latinx students, our students receiving special needs services, our ELL students, our LGBTQ community, our students are facing serious social and emotional and mental health needs right now. We're not done with the current pandemic, and the historical pandemic of social justice continues. I ask you, as fellow Wisconsinites, to step up and do what Wisconsin knows to do, and that's right by all of our children. We have an opportunity right here to not only just resolve the issue here, but to lay out a blueprint for the rest of the nation. It's time, Wisconsin. It's time for us to step up and do the things that we know to do. If this goes through, Madison Metropolitan School District will face a budget cut of nearly $3 million. Sure, we're going to look, as we have in all the districts across the state, to make it work. But should we be in a situation where we're having to make it work, particularly for our children? We have to reinvest in our children so that we can have the kind of society that we want to have. and one that recognizes all. We have changed in Wisconsin, and now it's time for us to change our idea of how we reflect the values of Wisconsin in the budget. So, having said that, I want to thank everybody who came out to support. Just look at this crowd. I want to thank you for coming out. I want to also say to our children, we stand with you, we stand for you. Thank you so much for coming out. Now at this time, I have the pleasure to introduce to you one of our very own, a senior at East High School, Whitman Watari. Is going to come up, and let's welcome her to the mic.